I live? Like, I'm so confused. The preview of my live stream is just showing like this top corner. Um, if someone could like comment, hold on, let me just check really quickly before I start this to make sure that this is working okay. Okay, it's actually working. My preview is just messed up. So, okay. Sorry guys. All right, so recapping today. I know it's late, but I'm doing this nonetheless. It's about 8:15 Eastern time on the 3rd of February, 2021. I'm up $339 today. Only traded GameStop today, which honestly didn't really do too much today, but it is kind of this. I titled this video the GameStop is a daily trade because it seems like it's a daily trade. And if you look on the 5-minute, you can really see the ranges of each day have kind of gone down successively, getting the ranges of the day get smaller and smaller. Nonetheless, yesterday I had a really good trade on this from about here to here, and then kind of today I kind of try to do a similar sort of trade on it. And as you can see, the main trade here was getting long here, 50 shares, and then carrying it up here and taking profits on all these peaks here. I tried this one, earlier in the day here, as I kind of noticed that it was coming up and looking like it wasn't going to make a lower low here. You expect it's making lower lows, lower low, lower low. Here it kind of squeezes up, so I said screw it. All right, you know what, I'm just going to take that because I know very quickly GameStop can come back to the VWAP, and by then I feel like I've already missed a lot of the move. And obviously breaking through VWAP, there's definitely going to be entries there, but I like to be the first. I like to get in right at the beginning of the move because I don't know, I think it creates I want to suck everything out of the trade. So anyway, I got it long here, and then I ended up stopping out a few minutes later, just right here for a 1 cent loss on 50 shares. So I lost 50 cents on that trade. So anyway, pretty much a scratch trade there, and you could see it consolidated here, and then actually did end up pushing up to VWAP and then up to about 104, and with an entry below 90, that actually would have been a pretty decent trade there on 50 shares. But I cut that one, and for most of the day I was kind of just looking around thinking, man, like, what is there to trade right now? Space looked good today. Like, what's there to really trade right now? I was looking around. DDD is one that I've traded like the last couple days, and tried this one for the break of 40, and then of course when it does break 40 in like the 2nd minute of the day, it finally breaks 40. Actually, you can see it even better on the 5-minute chart. If I zoom out here on the 5-minute, you can see I had this trend line drawn up and then this resistance at 40, and you can see it's just a really beautiful setup here, and then the break of $40. And of course I traded it yesterday, tried it, failed, traded it the day before, made money on it the day before, but didn't get that break of 40 that I wanted. And then of course today we got it the first within 2 minutes, and by then I already thought, well, I've missed the break of 40, and I'm not going to take this one. Luckily, in a different account, I actually bought shares of DDD yesterday before the close. I bought shares of DDD to swing into today looking for that break of 40. So I actually did make money off of this break of 40, and quite a bit too. I just didn't do it in this day trading account where I had tried it the last couple of days. And anyway, so this break of 40 really was a beautiful thing. You can see on the 5-minute, really good setup here, and then just you get that break, and it hit a high of $46. So that was awesome. So I feel, things like that, you kind of feel vindicated about your trading and all that. Anyway, so just kind of looking around like what's moving, and I didn't really see too much, but what I did like was possibly GameStop and AMC and these squeeze stocks, because, and the reason I liked them today was I thought that they actually might have a little bit of a bounce today, just based off how much they've pulled back. And then you've got that support at $76 for GameStop, which really hasn't been breached yet. You've got a slight dip here pre-market, but that doesn't really count. And really that has not been violated yet. So I thought, as long as it stays above 76 bucks, I think it has decent squeeze potential. I think if we break down below that $76 mark, we start to get into that attitude of like, okay, GameStop is, kind of starting to break down. But what we saw today, if I'm correct, my mic is kind of blocking my view here. Sorry. We actually had volume. Okay, so yeah, yesterday and today, the volume's actually been higher than, the day before, for instance. And what we're seeing is that as the stock price of GameStop starts to fall, the spreads get smaller, or the difference between the bid and the ask become narrower, and that actually makes it a better stock to trade. Up at $300, $400, GameStop's not too, it becomes more difficult to trade just because the spreads get wider, and it's hard to get in and out. But now we're seeing it come back down to earth, and well, it's still up at $100. But is the squeeze over? Is it not over? Are we going to get a bounce or anything like that? I think today, tomorrow's really going to be telling, because if you look at the 5-minute here, you can kind of see this curling action, this leveling out here at about $100. And what I liked today was, and kind of the reasoning behind my long right here, was kind of the fact that it looks like we're kind of leveling out on the 5-minute. At least it looks like we're kind of leveling out. And I know GameStop has squeeze potential. We saw this yesterday. It was just getting killed yesterday. Pops back up, and then I get long, and I got about $1,000 trade in here, if you saw my recap yesterday, on this squeeze. And that was an awesome squeeze. So I was kind of looking today for a similar sort of effect, curling off the low and then maybe squeezing into the close. We didn't quite get that, but right now I'm just not seeing anything super decisive. If we stay above 76 bucks, that is the key. Above 76, 77 bucks, and it has potential to curl off the low. It could be the case that we open tomorrow lower than that, and I don't know. From there, it's kind of the Wild West. I don't really know what to expect below that mark, but if we stay above 77 bucks, then I think a bounce is definitely possible off this level. So anyway, my thinking on this was kind of that curling action, wanting to get this kind of general curl back up, and that did kind of work. It broke down going into the close, which I wasn't expecting, but I was kind of expecting more action to curling back up at 115, 120, maybe 125 into the close, but we didn't get that. That would have been cool, because then if we got 125 before the close, we know what this can do in aftermarket, extended hours trading. You can get some crazy momentum there. GameStop's definitely done some crazy things pre-market and aftermarket. Anyway, this is kind of besides the point. So anyway, long 50 shares here, taking profit along the way, and then on this dip right here into VWAP, at this point, it's been like a week and a half trading GameStop at these crazy levels and just watching it every single day, and you start to kind of learn how stocks behave. And you have to realize, and this may not be relevant going forward because I don't know how many more days we're going to have of trading GameStop like every single day, but on these drops, on these 1-minute candles lower, especially with VWAP coming into support, I'm a buyer on these dips. And I have to say, of course, I'm scared getting long here because, what if it just keeps going against you, and, it could drop, it could flush, 20, 30 bucks in a minute easily. But as you can see, I only refilled here 5 shares, but what you should know is that the order that I placed was actually for 35 shares, which would have put me back at a 50 share total, I believe, because I was holding 15 shares. 50 minus all these shares was 15. On this dip, I set my order to buy 35 and make it 50 again, so reload, which would have been awesome. But right as I put that order in to buy 35 on that dip, I canceled the order because I was just too scared. I canceled the order, but it gave me a partial fill of 5 shares, and then sure enough, it did come up. So I was holding 20 shares, got 5 out here, and then I was looking for higher. I really was kind of wanting, like, okay, I'm holding 15 shares left. I want to give this one a chance. I've got my profit cushion now. Let's let this one ride. and it didn't really go from there. So I ended up stopping out of my last 10 shares here. Oops, kind of a crazy dip right here, and then on this pop back up, I got out of my last shares at 98 bucks. So still above my my cost basis there, which was you know, around 95 bucks if you put in this refill. Anyway, so that was my trade on GameStop today, and I cut this one too early. Should have given this one more room up to 104. That would have been pretty good actually, but you know, you can't really stick around in GameStop. But anyway, so that's that. I hope, you know, GameStop, I hope is tradable tomorrow, or not tradable tomorrow, but like tradable in the sense of like I hope it's a good stock to trade. I hope it stays above 77 bucks. Not because I'm holding any shares or that I really care, but I like GameStop in this range. The action today wasn't great, but yesterday was awesome. All we need is one move like this a day, and I mean, you can nail these moves. This was a $1,000 trade yesterday. Could have been more if I didn't take profits as soon, but it is what it is. I'll take it. And yeah, I mean, as long as GameStop, again, it's got to stay above 77 bucks tomorrow, and I think that it's definitely got squeeze potential. Curling off this low, I want to see it. I want to see it coming back up to 150 bucks tomorrow, which is a lot to ask, but I think it's doable. We saw yesterday it coming all the way down, hitting that 76 mark. This line, I did not put this here yesterday. This line's been here for over a week. It is the very high of this candle right here. So I had this marked out already, came down, touched that perfectly, bounced, and not only did it bounce, but that bounce generated a squeeze. All these new shorts piling in, squeezed straight back out. So, you know, this is not over necessarily. It's still up here, and I know on the daily chart it looks crazy, but it's still hanging around, and as long as it's hanging around, I think definitely potential to trade this one. So not a huge green day today, 339 bucks, but you know, definitely green, definitely good. And yeah, if you guys enjoy these recaps, then definitely hit the like button. I really do appreciate that actually, and subscribe if you like the content, because I do this every single day, or most days I try. And yeah, that's it from me, guys. I'll be back at it tomorrow, and hopefully I will do my recap a little bit earlier tomorrow. I can't make a promise, but we'll see. Today, kind of a afternoon trading, and we did get some afternoon moves, CPSH for example, and there's another great example of after hours momentum. So yeah, good move here on this in the afternoon. I was like 339 bucks. I'm good. I'm done for the day. If you guys watched my recap yesterday, I kind of touched on my the drawdown that I'm in right now. I'm just not really in a place to like get super aggressive, so it is what it is. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll be back at it tomorrow. Thanks, guys.